Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to another AirgunwebTV. We're actually going to name the show tonight. I've been thinking about what to name this. It's something that I've been hoping to do and come up with a decent name, and so we're going to name it, and it's pretty simple. It's going to be named, we're going to call it Let's Talk Airguns. So that's going to be the name of the show. Hopefully you guys will like it, and that'll be that. And I don't have to keep wondering what I'm going to call the show as we get started every evening or every Tuesday evening. So first of all, I apologize. I had like a short, abrupt change in schedule last week. Wasn't able to be here, but we had between weather coming up and some other things going on. Just I needed to move it. But we have some cool stuff to talk about tonight. And one of the things we're really gonna be focusing on is, hey there, David. One of the things we're really going to be focusing on is going to be how to measure center-to-center groups. So this is something that I learned way back in the day, and maybe everybody just knows it, but I had to look it up when I first learned how to do it. So I thought I'd share how that works, and also talk a little bit about PyramydAir's sub-MOA contest they have going on. If you guys haven't looked this up, anybody can do this. So if you have 25 yards and you have an air gun, you can enter this contest and possibly win some pretty cool stuff. So I really want to focus on that this evening. And in that process, good evening, everybody. In that process, you need to be able to submit valid results. And so I want to make sure you guys are able to do that. And I had a great time. Doing this last week. I've got a couple videos, finally got back down to the range. I've had a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not ready quite yet to announce what's happening. It's good, though. We're talking very cool stuff. But I'm thinking maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to really kind of surprise you guys with some pretty neat things that are going on. But I finally got down to the range, got to shoot some. I wanted to shoot for Pyramyd Air and help them promote their sub-MOA contest. So if you guys haven't looked this up, links are in the video description. So, hey there, George. Hey there, guys. So this is something we're really going to, and David's saying, please define sub-MOA. This is really, I think, going to be a great topic because everybody talks MOA or sub-MOA, and MOA is minute of angle, right? So if you look it up, most people say 1 inch at 100 yards is MOA, and it's really, there's a long number, but it's really 1.047 inches at 100 yards is minute of angle. So if you start dialing that back, what's cool about MOA is minute of angle is that it's proportional. So minute of angle group at 25 yards is 1/4 of an inch. Minute of angle group at 50 yards is 1/2 inch, and then 75 yards 3/4 inch. 100 yards is 1 inch, a little bit less than. A little bit more than, but at 1,000 yards, it's 10.5 inches. So MOA is a unit of measure. It's proportional. So it starts small, and as you get out further, it's an angle, right? So, and it's a fixed angle that grows the further you go out. So if you're going to shoot or want to shoot sub-MOA, and frankly, for me, the holy grail of air guns for me, and I have not, let me back up. I have shot inch groups at 100 yards with some air guns. I have yet to have an air gun that will do it 8 out of 10 times. And maybe that's me, maybe that's the ammo, because I don't like having to sort and check pellets out. But that is just something that I don't have an air gun in my collection, and I've never shot one ever that I've had my hands on that will deliver sub-MOA 8 out of 10 times, or 1 inch, under an inch or an inch or under at 100 yards, 8 out of 10 times. I've shot under an inch before with many different guns, but to do it every single time, that's a tough nut to crack. I challenge you guys. Raphael, I see your question. We'll get to that here in a second. If you guys get, the NRA magazine or anything and look up the rifle reviews. I mean, we have guys that are shooting 6.5 Creedmoor and all manner of very expensive, very nice firearms, and most of their groups at 100 yards are around an inch or better. So we have that inch at 100, it is harder than people think to get that consistently. Can you do it once off? Yes, I've done that many times. To do it 6, 7, 8 times in a row, I've not done it, and I've not found an air gun that could do it. Now, I know that there are some folks out there that are really going to argue the fact that they've got one that'll do it every time. And I would love for them to come out to my range and show me how, because I would love to be able to do it. And if there's an air gun that's $3,500 that'll do it 8 out of 10 times, well, maybe I need to start saving to get that particular air gun. Now, I have some guns that have come in recently. I got the FX Dreamline, and people are saying those are the type of guns that should be able to do it. Well, we're going to find out. I've got a lot of videos scheduled for that gun. That's going to be part of my permanent collection, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, back to the MOA. The beautiful thing about, again, the MOA challenge is that, let's say you don't have a 100-yard range, you don't have a 50-yard range, but you have a 25-yard range. Well, you can still participate, because if you can shoot 1/4 of an inch, or under, then you're shooting sub-MOA, which is pretty awesome. So, pardon me, Dave, hopefully that helps you understand what, sub-MOA means under an inch, minute of angle, it's under that, right? So, and they have some information on PyramydAir's website. If we go over to the page, and again, links are in the video description. So you could play the cutesy little digital game if you want, or you can order their tool, and then you have, okay, so here's all the rules and how you do it, and then you can submit your video or photo, and it's really cool. Let me show you. A photo I got. Gosh, how can I? Well, you know what? Let me just. How do I do this? I can do this. Let me pull this image up, because I did get in the shooting. I was shooting the Air Arms S510. We had wind, as we do here in West Texas. So I was only shooting at 25 yards. But I did get one group that was sub-MOA. So let me go ahead and pull this up here. So this is a group I got, and when I measured this, and I actually, in this video coming out Thursday, I actually measure each of my groups and walk through that process so you guys can know how to do it too. It's kind of cool to be able to do this. I use my digital micrometer. This tool is kind of cool though, because that center ring there, if that's like cutting the center of your impacts, you're probably pretty close to that 1/4 inch group, but you need to measure it and do the math. So let's talk a little bit about how that works, right? So, Raphael, I haven't forgot about your question. I'll get back to it in a minute. So if you're going to measure groups, let's say you've got, you've shot your 5-shot group, take your micrometers and you measure the outside edge of your group. Don't try and guess center, because you're not going to be accurate. So you measure the outside group, and you got to be honest about, the width of the pellet in your paper. You got to be, you got to be honest about, how your group is. But you measure the outside, and then you simply subtract the diameter of the pellet. So if you have a group that measures 0.48 and you're shooting 22 cal pellets, then you subtract 0.22 from the 0.48, and that gives you your center to center. So that's how you do it. And the video coming out Thursday, we're going to measure every group that we shot, and we only had one that qualified. And then I shot another video along the same lines using the Benjamin gunner, a gun I absolutely love. Now that was a 25 cal versus 22. So we got to measure that differently, right? So anyway, it is it's pretty cool. Anybody can do it. If you have at least 25 yards, you can get on this contest and really have some fun with it. So let's see. We got some questions here. I have a question. This is Raphael. I am between putting the medium light mounts on my NP2 trail or leave it with the ones that were included. That is low. Ideas, by the way. I will test a Pinty on the brake barrels. Wish luck. I'm guessing you're trying to know if the height's going to screw you up. Realistically, I mean, if you were shooting a firearm, you want to be as close to the bore as possible. On an air gun, everything's shooting an arc anyway. I don't know that that little bit of a difference is going to matter. But if you have two sets of mounts, try and see how is it comfort-wise. If it's comfortable with the low mounts, run the low mounts. If it's more comfortable with the high mounts, run the high mounts. It really comes, for me, it's going to come down to comfort, because with air guns, you're always going to shoot on, nothing shoots flat with an air gun. It just doesn't. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Let's see. Yeah, Heath, if I ever do this right, I'll have thousands of Heath, I have thousands and thousands of dollars in camera equipment. And I still, some would say I don't do it right. So I don't know that it's the camera equipment. G-Man, how's the BSA Outlook scope holding up on the Swarm Magnum? Will you test the BSA on the new 25 cal Gamma Magnum? I actually had one of them that started giving me a problem with the zoom magnification. It was still on 0, but something in that mechanism started to give me a fit, so I need to send that back to Gamma and BSA, let them take a look at it. So I'm up in the air yet on that. That just happened, so we'll see on that. Right now, I do have both. All of the new Gamma guns that have come in are on the schedule to shoot this week, and hopefully get some video of that. For those that have been interested in seeing some content, this is off subject, content on the Daisy Nationals, I'm wearing the shirt tonight. I'm meeting with my sister who does my video production, who edits my videos for me, and should have some content out in the next couple of weeks, and then we're gonna have probably at least 5 or 6 videos on that event. So if you guys have been waiting to see that, it's some really cool stuff, really, really good content. And it's, yes, we talk about the guns and the shooting and all that other stuff, but we have a lot of sort of, what do they call it? I don't know, just talking to people, interviews and personal interest stuff that I think is really going to be good, because the event is, while it is about the shooting and the competition, if you can get a feel for an understanding of why these people come and do it and connect with them, then boy, I tell you, the event takes on a whole nother meaning, and it's pretty awesome. So we'll have some of that content coming here shortly. Let's see. Yeah, Raphael's saying, I don't think a 177 Olympic air rifle can reach 25 yards and be sub-MOA. At 10 meters, pellet, it's pellet over pellets without, yeah. So I'm not quite sure how to read your comment, but you can shoot sub-MOA at 10 yards if you want. It's just not part of the PyramydAir's contest. But if you can shoot sub-10th inch groups, for example, then yeah, you'd be shooting sub-MOA even at 10 yards. Kind of cool stuff. Let's see. For 22, sub-MOA really means one hole for all shots in the group at 25 yards, correct? Well, not really. Because again, you're measuring center to center. And this is why I wanted to talk about this tonight, because that was my question. As I read through the instructions, there was a reference to center, but it was sort of down in the other stuff. So if we take a look at this picture here, I wonder if I can zoom in on it. Okay, so that picture there is the one group I got that was 0.25 inches center to center. And it's definitely the pellet holes are outside that inside ring slightly. And that's because I'm measuring the center to center. So being able to measure center to center and know how to do it accurately is important. So if you're shooting 22, you can have a bit of a clover leaf, not much of one, because each center of each pellet can't be greater. You can't have a greater group than 1/4 of an inch. And then at 50 yards can't be greater than 1/2 inch and so forth. So you, like, for example, if I shot a 30 cal at 25 yards, if the whole size of the group had to be inside a 1/4 or 1/4 of an inch, could never do it. But if I'm measuring center to center, I can shoot sub-MOA at 25 yards with a 30 or 45 or a 50 cal because we're measuring center to center variances or the center to center distance, not the total outside edge group size. That makes sense. Let's see, let's switch back over here. Let's see. What's my thoughts on the new FX Halo pellets? I have not shot any, so I don't have any thoughts on that yet. I think it would be, oh, we just lost signal. Back. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Okay, hang in there with me, guys. We just lost video. Because I don't have it plugged in. Hold on a minute here, fellas. Okay, I apologize. Let's see if we got our camera back here. There we go. Okay, I think we got our camera back. Don't know what happened, but we've been having some weird power fluctuations here, so I apologize for that. Let's see here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, glad you got it. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Dave. For whatever reason, I'm using a camera that's supposed to be like super awesome, and I think I found the problem. They updated the software. Doughhead here forgot to fix a setting and caused my own problem. So, is what it is. Sorry for that, guys. Let's see here. We got some other questions here. Speak English, Doc. I don't understand this science talk. Sub-MOA, is that some species of squirrel? No, but I think you're trying to be funny. Let's see. Alex is asking, are you going to do more 357 Bulldog videos? I don't have a 357. I've got the 45, and I plan on doing some more of that. I hope that Pyramyd Air forgets that I have it. That would be wonderful. But it's their gun. It's sitting in my rack. But that is a really fun gun I hope to do some more with. Heath asked me a question sort of off topic, but I'll answer it. How did you learn your technique of thermography? Keith, let's see. My first video was horrific. It was back in 2008. And it was bad. And it was simply trial and error. I purchased a ton of gear. Eventually I did connect with some folks that actually do it for a living. I worked, as you guys know, Ben, I worked with him for many years. I learned a lot from him. I also was on American Airgunner, and Mike Hart and 5-Star. Those guys are phenomenal, and I learned a lot from just being on that show and how they do things. But obviously I had those guys that helped me, but it's been all trial and error. Figure it out, oh, that works, or that didn't work. One thing Mike Hart at 5-Star told me way back, if anyone, this is all, again, off topic here, but if anyone is interested in starting a YouTube channel or doing something in content creation, he told me something that I haven't forgotten. I'm not saying I've followed it very well, but I haven't forgotten it, and it's probably one of the best pieces of advice I could ever give anybody. It was given to me. It's not so much about the quality of the video. It's always going to be about the quality of the content. If you have something to say that people want to hear, then you're going to get people to watch your stuff, even if you're using a 3 generations old camera. The cameras I'm using now, I shoot 4K, I produce in 1080p. I don't know that I'm going to go beyond that. I don't know that I just don't know that I'm going to go past that. Maybe I will, maybe I don't ever see myself producing in 4K. But I probably will just keep doing what I'm doing. But the cameras I have are, gosh, 5, 6 years old. So I haven't really bought anything in my main production cameras. I haven't bought anything new in a while. The webcam I'm running is really it's a Logitech Mevo. I've used those. You control it with your cell phone, which is cool. So there's me on the green screen and the picture. So all that's kind of cool. And I am trying to figure out the best way to do that. And this has worked really good as long as I remember to not screw up the settings. But hopefully that's, if you're Keith, if you're interested in doing some work, I would be pleased to chat with you and kind of point you in a decent direction so that you don't make some of the mistakes I did. So hopefully that's it, not only for you, but anybody else that's looking to do content creation. I am here if you want to chat about how to do that and be successful in it. I guess I'm successful in it. If you think I'm successful in it, I'd be pleased to share what I've learned. So if you guys want to do it, I'd be pleased to talk with you about it. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, so Raphael's talking about Anschutz and Feinwerk bow with regards to those are some really nice rifles, 10-meter stuff. Yeah, they're exceptional. My sub-MOA, I've shot sub-MOA regularly at 25 and 50. That I can do. And I have guns that will do that. As long as the conditions are right and I do my part, I can get 8 out of 10 groups that are sub-MOA that way. What I want to be able to do is shoot sub-MOA at 100 yards. Or heck, 75 yards. I've had some that have come close to 75, but to like shoot under an inch 8 out of 10 times at 100 yards is something that I've not been able to do. I really want to be able to do that. So that's what excited me about Pyramyd Air's sub-MOA challenge. And I don't know if they're not doing 100 yards. Yeah, I mean, they have the, let me pull this up. So I thought they were going to do a 100-yard contest, but it looks like they're limiting out at 50 yards, which is sub-MOA at 50 yards is far more doable. It's hard, it's tough, but it's far more doable. So if you can do one group, 5-shot sub-MOA at 50, that's under half an inch, then you're looking at potentially $500 shopping spree, which is pretty cool. If you can do the legendary, which is 5 groupings of 5 shots under half an inch, that I think would be stinking awesome, and that's worth $1,000 in shopping spree if you can pull it off and they are selected. So 3 random winners. So this has me excited to kind of reopen my quest to find that gun, that pellet, that combination, that scope, that package that gets me to this sub-MOA 8 out of 10 times. That's what I want to be able to do. So we'll see. We'll see if I can make that happen. I've got several videos planned over this month that we're going to be shooting many different guns. In that vein, let me take a side detour for just a moment. Rich, first of all, Rich, guys, hold on just a second. Rich, I got your email. I need to email you from my editor account. I'll try and remember to do that tonight. I have a bunch of work stacked up, but let me get past the next couple days. I do want to chat with you because it's been a long time and we need to catch up. So on the 25 cal, I have to look at it closely. I don't know if it's a metal breach. In my gut, I think it's plastic, composite, whatever. So, but I have to check it for sure. I don't know. I know that the Gammo Hunter Extreme Pro new one they came out with, Whisper or whatever, that's metal. But I don't know if the 25 is, and I haven't checked it to know for sure, so I don't know. All right, let's see. Difficult question. If you have a difficult question, throw it out there and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, Raphael, thank you for that. I mean, I try and put out good quality info. I wish for, I'm kind of jealous of the views other people get, but I'm never going to be the guy who's getting the kind of views if you're blowing stuff up or shooting heads off of stuff at 200 yards. It's just not my thing. I'm an analytical, sort of technical. That's the kind of stuff I do. So hopefully it helps you guys make good buying decisions and you kind of know what you're getting into. I'm not going to tell you do or don't buy something, but I will tell you what it does and doesn't do. And from there, you can make your own choices. And if that helps you guys, that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to keep on doing. Let's see. Okay, so Tactical is asking a question. Why is it possible to be able to purchase some high-end guns from Crail and Holland at prices 25 to 40% less than here in the U.S., even with international shipping? Are we being screwed? I don't know what guns you're talking about, so I don't know. I will tell you, as a business owner here that had employees and lots of overhead, you have to make margin. If you don't, I mean, if a gun costs me $1,000, let's say I get an Evan X gun, I get something from Mr. Let's say I buy a Clown. Right? This is going to be off the topic, but I'm gonna just talk about random numbers, guys. So first of all, random numbers, but in the ballpark of where things exist. Okay, as a business owner, if I spend $1,000, $1,100 wholesale for a gun, I have to sell that for 40 to 43% over my cost to cover marketing costs, infrastructure, insurances, other overhead, employees, everything else that goes with it. Where's the money come from? Now, if the manufacturer decides to sell it directly to you, skipping everybody in the middle, then I can see why you'd pay a lot less. So if you're buying direct from a manufacturer and they haven't had to go through multiple layers of people, each person having to take their piece to pay their bills, then that's why you can buy it so cheap. But if you're going to buy it locally, they gotta pay people. I mean, I don't know anybody that goes to work and at the end of the week, 2 weeks, month, whatever, tells their boss, you know what? It's just been so much fun being here. Just keep my paycheck. I don't need it. And as a business owner, after you've paid all your people, shouldn't you be able to live off of your labor too? So that's probably why you're seeing a disparity. I don't know if I don't know what guns you're talking about. I don't know in the reality of what you're referring to, but I don't think you're getting screwed. Not if you think people deserve to get paid. If you think people don't deserve to get paid and they should work for free and deliver everything to you and not have any profit or benefit to it, well, I would question that reality, frankly. Let's see. Let's move on here. He's saying thanks for the info. If he wants to make a movie, he wants to make him look like a movie. Okay. I haven't figured that out yet. If you figure that out, let me know. Oh man, my nose itches. G-Man, Rick, you live in windy West Texas. You definitely are challenging yourself. You need to come Midwest for calm days. Yeah, and really, I think when the weather cools down a little bit, like mid-September, like through February, we'll have some really nice weather where it'll be like less than 10 miles an hour. But most of the time when I'm shooting, we're 10 plus miles per hour, and gusts can be 20 plus. So, and then we have dust devils come through. So it is a challenge to shoot here. People look at my videos and see the groups and they're like, well, so-and-so shot so much better. Well, come shoot here. That'd be my answer. Let's see here. Dow's asking, is it the heartbeat that throws off good groups at long distance? People hold their breath. Anyone can use a bench rest with locking down a rifle. I have tried different rest bags, rests that I don't have to do anything but barely squeeze the trigger. I've tried lots of different ways to get my goal, and at the end of the day, I'm still the guy behind the trigger. So I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Hopefully, I will. I think it's a worthwhile quest. Do I think Umrex will come out with a 30 cal origin? Don't know. Gun certainly has the power. It's not going to get a lot of shots, but you got 2 mags and a 30. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. I've got actually some new pellets here. Have you guys heard of Northern Precision? It's a green. It's going to lose my color. These were sent to me from the folks at Umrex saying they shoot really well out of their 30 cal. So that's going to be one of my upcoming videos. I have so many video projects in the queue right now. I've got to just spend like 3 weeks straight filming. But this is one of them. I've got two different weights, and I'm excited to see how they shoot. I've been told they shoot really well, so we'll see. Let's see. New Mexico. Yeah, well, it happens. You get there. Can you use any gun you want in the sub-MOA challenge? Absolutely. In fact, that's a great segue because one of the guns I got in recently, I'm super excited about it. I shot it some, just testing it, was the new DAR Gen 3. And Gary, if he's up here, Gary's got it, and he really likes it from what he said. I really like the gun. I adjusted the trigger, and talking to them, and I broke my rule, but I broke my rule because the person who runs DAR specifically said, before you shoot it, clean the barrel, because we ship it with a lot of oil and stuff to prevent it from rusting in transit. And I said, well, okay, if you're telling me up front, clean the barrel, then I will clean the barrel. And I cleaned the barrel, and it was like really not dirty. So I'm thinking, gosh, if they consider that dirty, that's pretty amazing. But I shot that, and I'm going to do a video with that gun coming up for Gateway Airguns. And I am going to shoot the sub-MOA, see if I can shoot. I already know that at 25 yards, it will do sub-MOA, which is pretty cool. So pretty excited about that gun. It's very impressive. I haven't put on a crony. I'm getting about 2, maybe 3 mags. It is regulated. It sounds like it's zipping pretty good, but the trigger adjusted just really nice. Took all the second stage creep out of it, and it's really, really a nice shooting air gun. So I'm excited to do that video. Really nice gun. I don't know what the price is, like $600, unless they have a special going on. But it is, if you were a person maybe looking at a Benjamin Marauder, I would say I would point you very quickly over to that DAR Gen 3 because it's regulated. It has the same sort of chunky wood stock. It's very nice. I would buy that before I bought a Marauder, like any day of the week. So very impressed with that gun so far. Let's see. So Richard Henderson saying, not sure what the topic is. It just got here. He was wondering what we heard about the JTS having leaking seal issues. Have you heard anything on this? Yeah, I mean, the first pre-production guns had some bad O-rings. I talked to Travis here just recently, and those issues have been resolved in the production models. They just happen to be sitting on a stinking boat. So as soon as the shipping gets dealt with, we get some guns here, we should be fine. Mine had a problem. I replaced the O-rings. I haven't had a problem since. So I wouldn't concern yourself over the pre-production models that were shipped out for people to work with and play with. Part of the process of that was for us as reviewers and shooters to give them feedback on things as they went to production, what they would want to change in the production. So I wouldn't fret it. Once the production guns get here and get into the hands of the everyday consumers, then let's see how things are going. But a lot of the issues people were concerned about that came up in the pre-production guns, they've all been dealt with. So I would not fret on it. Let's see. Yeah, no, if you can get tactical, if you can get an HW97 for $450, go for it. My question would be, who supports it for you when the gun has a problem? That would be a reasonable question. So, consider those things. Let's see. G-Man's asked me a question. It's a good question. Okay, Rick, typically how many distributors are there between you and the big manufacturer like Gammo, Velocity Outdoors, and Umrex? Okay, so if you are a retailer, you can set up accounts to buy direct from Gammo, probably Velocity Outdoors, and Umrex. Your buying level will be determined on your volume. So it's tiered. Pyramyd Air has the same thing. If you wanted to buy through Air Venturi, they have different pricing scales. Beeman has the same thing. There's dealer price and distributor price. Dealer price is a few points less than what you're going to see as sort of street price. They have their MSRP, which is manufacturer suggested retail price, but that is, that's not what people pay. You pay street price, which is often called MAP, or minimum advertised price. And when I would want to sell something, say, that I would get from Air Venturi, which is Pyramyd Air's wholesaler, if I want to get something from them, I agree to not advertise that product for less than MAP. If I happen to sell it for less than that, that's fine, but I can't advertise it for less than MAP because they want to maintain an even playing field for all of their dealers. So, that's how that works. Now, let's take Evanex for an example, because I ran Evanex USA for a while, and I was trying to set up a dealer network for Evanex. And this is how it works. So I paid X amount of dollars for a gun from Evanex, and then I had to get it here. Now, I had to air freight everything because I couldn't afford to buy a container, and I actually wanted to get it. So containers are still sitting out in the ocean for however long. So I actually wanted inventory, so I air freighted it. And air freight runs about, on an air freight order, if I'm doing, say, 100 guns, you're looking at $60 to $70 per gun on freight. So it's $6,000 to $7,000 to air freight that over. Then I have to pay a company to clear that through customs. So it lands in LA. I pay a company called DB Shanker, who's awesome. I wish I could give them more credit. Those guys are one of the best companies I've ever dealt with. Whatever magic and paperwork they do, I pay them. They take a piece. I pay taxes, duties, tariffs, whatever needs to be paid to get them here. So if a gun costs me $600, now I've got $700 into the gun. Then if I want to, say, sell that to a dealer, well, I need to be able to cover all of my costs, my overhead, my storage, my employees, if I have any. I need to pay them, be able to do all of that. So there needs to be a certain percentage over my cost. And then every dealer is going to want to make 30 to 40 points on everything. So that $700 gun turns out to be $1,500 by the time you guys buy it. And there could be more people in the chain. But that's essentially how it works. It depends. I mean, each company is different. And I don't run Evanex USA anymore. That project didn't work out. But, that's how it works. If you're in the industry and you start doing this, you realize that there's a lot to it. There's people all along the way. And in my opinion, a workman is worthy their hire. And if they're working and they're got kids to feed and bills to pay, gosh, they ought to be able to do that. So that's just my 2 cents. Is there a list of slugs that fits the Origin magazine? No. But you can probably get your maximum length and see if manufacturers will give you the length of their slugs, and then you would know. I've also noticed that Beeman PCPs sell out quickly. They're either not forecasting enough or really aren't that popular. I don't know what's going on with Beeman. They're a company who bought a name and are leveraging the name. Some of their stuff's pretty decent. Some of their stuff is you get what you pay for. Well, thanks, Heath. I appreciate the kind words, man. That's very helpful. I appreciate that. Does the single shot tray of the hammer fits the Origin? I don't know what you mean by that. Let's see. Nighttime EBR, yes, we've got to do that for at least do a video for that for our Airgun Expo. By the way, Airgun Expo looks like end of October is when I'm going to try and do that. Still working out the details and how we're going to run it. I have talked to a couple folks that would like to be here, so I'm trying to make all that happen, which should be very, very cool. Shane's saying he's got the DAR. Does he have the Gen 3? Have all 3 gens, all 3 calibers. I've got the Gen 2 and 22, Gen 3 and 25. I'm a fan. Tactical, that DAR is Dynamic Air Rifles. Really, really nice air guns. Let's see. Razor, I don't have a lot of experience with Don EFL stuff. I would defer that question. Let's see. Dow saying he's enjoying learning about PCP air guns with his Bullpup Avenger. Needs some aftermarket barrel stabilization, close to sub-MOA at 25 yards as of yesterday. I hadn't thought about pulling that one out, but I have a 22, and I should probably see if I could get sub-MOA with that. Really nice shooting gun. It shoots way above its price point. I mean, the Avenger, what a nice gun. If I were to pick, another project I need to get back to is like the whole, not versus, but like an overview of several guns in the same class, kind of talking about features. Because I know I did the one with 25. If I were to choose between like a Gauntlet 2 and 22 and an Avenger and 22, I would choose the Avenger. If I would choose a Gauntlet 2 and 25 or an Avenger and 25, I would choose the Gauntlet. Maybe we'll talk about that in another show. But I switch back and forth for my personal preference on those brands. Both very, very good guns. Let's see. Hey, Richard. Glad I could help. That's what we're here for. Yeah, DB Schenker is a great company. I've tried to work with some others to save a buck. No, I'm going to use it. If I need to import something anywhere in the world, DB Schenker. If you want to import anything, guys, if one of you guys out there trying to import something, DB Schenker, who you want to call, pay them whatever they ask. It's always been, I felt reasonable. They've done a great deal. Great job for me. Let's see. Yeah, he's asking about the battery compressor. It's going strong. I love that thing. I use it all the time. In fact, rather than dragging an extension cable out to my range, I just take it out there. If I've got to fill like a bigger bottle gun or something, I may walk back and hit the larger compressor or something. But most of the time, if I'm shooting a cylinder gun, like an Avenger or a Gauntlet, well, maybe not the Gauntlet's got that big bottle, but anything that's a tube and not a big bottle that's 4,500, I run the battery compressor nearly all the time. It's awesome. Let's see. Lead-free slugs. I don't know. I need to ask Joe about that because I really don't know. Rafaela, yeah, I thought you might meant that. I don't know if the single tray will work. they're two different guns. So the Origin is made by one manufacturer. The Gauntlet is made by a different one. So I don't know that they're interchangeable. The DARs are made in China. And I've talked with the person who runs DAR. He is a no-nonsense guy. He is really nice guy to deal with and really cares about his product. He'd rather do one product right than have a whole bunch of products that are just mediocre. He really is trying to make a solid, really, really solid product. They've had their mistakes. They've had their things they've struggled through. But he is committed to really making a solid air gun. And the one I got certainly shows that, yeah, he's really working to make something special. So impressed with that for sure. Let's see here. Take a swig, and then we're probably coming up close to the end of the show. Unless we got some other things to talk about. Let me run down some of the guns where I'm going to be trying to shoot sub-MOA with. So the one gun, I've shot two guns so far. Over here, there's the Air Arms. I shot that the other day. I got one group, and I think it was with the JSB 1813s. I was actually testing the new H&N 1589s and 1813s versus the JSBs. The JSBs did a little bit better, and I did get an MOA group with the 1813s. One out of 6 groups, I got one that was sub-MOA. I also shot the Gunner, which gave me a .26. I couldn't get .25 out of it. It bummed me out. Although now, and I'm thinking about when I did the math, I'm wondering if I was still in 20, my brain was still doing 22 cal, and I was shooting 25. I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look at my shot cards. If I screwed it up, then I have to reshoot that video. That's all right. It means I get to go shoot some more. And this time, maybe I'll get my sub-MOA, because boy, do I like that gun. Okay. Let's see. Rich, yes. As far as call-ins go, what I have set up, I need, if you could call in on Skype, I could actually have you call in. So I'm going to work to that. This will be eventually a show where you guys can either call a number or connect via Skype, and we can have you come up. I got to work out some technical issues with that, but it's cool. We've done it before, and we definitely want to be able to do that and have people be able to call in. So it'd be kind of cool to do that. Let's see. So Heath's kicking out. See you later, Heath. Shane's asking, do you think they ever make a 16 or 18 grain slug? Trying to think. I thought I had one. I don't know. We'll have to see. Good question. Dow's asking, is DAR better than the Avenger? Ooh, that's a tough one. All depends on what you're looking for. I think the build quality is vastly better. But if you want to be able to turn a knob and tinker 15 ways till Sunday without having to take the gun apart, then get the Avenger. If you're a guy like me who wants you to set it and forget it, and you're not in there having to change it every 5 seconds, I would pick the DAR. Personally. That's me. Just me personally. Let's see. So G-Man's asking, what does Angie have coming up on her channel for Grip or AirgunWeb? Angie's on a trip right now, so when she gets back, I think she's working on an Origin 25 video. I've got guns here that I'm going to be shipping to her here shortly, so she's got some guns that are coming out. I'm going to talk to both DAR and also Moab and try and get some guns out to her for those so that she could be working on those. And I do know that she just got a shipment from Pyramyd Air of some very cool guns. They're not high-end stuff, but they're very, very good, very cool guns. I think you guys are going to love them. So she's got like 5 or 6 new guns that she's got plenty of work to do. In fact, what we need, guys, is we need some more sponsors on GTA so I would love to see Angie doing 2 videos a week. I know Angie's going, no, that's 2 editings a week. But we already have a way to fix that. But I would love to see Angie doing 2 videos a week, but we need a couple more sponsors to be able to cover that cost, because Angie, she has a family supplemental to her income and her husband's income. So yeah, I gotta pay her to be able to produce those videos. And right now she's at sort of about what she can do. I would love to get her where she's doing 2 videos a week. That would be my goal. So we need some more sponsors, more companies to come on board at Gateway Airguns to help cover those costs. Let's see. I think that's going to be it for now, guys. It's 7:20. I've got a bunch of work that came in on my computer business that I get to go do tonight, some web editing and some work for my largest client. So I want to make sure I get that done for them. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for Thursday's video, because it'll be the MOA video for Air Arms. And I'm going to go after this and check and see if I screwed up my video on the gunner. If I've got to go shoot that, I got to go reshoot that tomorrow. Well, I guess we're going to find out. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming up and joining me for here. Join me here for Let's Talk Airguns. That's the name of the show. We're going to use that going forward. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is getting some AirgunWeb shirts, hats, and T-shirts and such things. And also Let's Talk Airgun shirts, hats, and T-shirts and stuff. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea or if it's a total waste of time on my part to invest in that. I think it's cool, but I'm just me. So if you think it's a good idea, let me know in the comments. Shoot me a note. And I think it would be fun to have some AirgunWeb T-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff you guys could pick up if it's something you want to do. But that's going to be it for this evening's Let's Talk Airguns. Thanks you guys for watching, and join me next week. Hopefully everything's going well, and we're going to have another great week. I'll have a lot more experience with some of these new air guns, all the Gamma guns, and maybe I'll have that FX out and play with it a little bit too. So that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for coming up here and hanging out with me. See ya.